biomat in the trenches.
That's the aging process of a drain field.
Yeah, the thing that will eventually cause it to fail.
All right.
You know, many years down the line, hopefully. All the drain fields are sized for the eventual accumulation of a biomat. That's why they're overly big now, where before they were just minimum size. Now they're a lot larger than they used to be since 1985. Anyway, the point is, the biomat is created by anaerobic bacteria under saturated conditions, and it's a biological slime, and essentially what it does is it coats the trench, the gravel, everything with this slime, and inhibits the ability of the water to pass through the surrounding soil. Okay, that's why trenches, when they're first in use, work wonderfully well with minimal drain field being used, because the soil absorbs it readily. But as that biomat builds, it keeps moving on to other parts of the trenches. Now, in a gravity system, if you use 200 gallons in the morning, say you flush a lot of toilets, you do laundry, you do dishwasher loads, whatever, take showers. All right, that 200 gallons goes out to that drain field at one time and causes it to be fairly saturated for that period of time as you're using the water, because the water goes directly from the house into the drain field after going through the septic tank. Time dose system, this is the way they work. You can use 200 gallons in the morning, and the same morning, maybe 40 or 50 gallons might actually go out to the drain field, because it doses a certain volume every 2 to 4 hours.
That's what the pump tank is about.
That's right. That's why the pump tanks are so large, so they can give you room to use the water, but then it takes it down gradually, not over a time of actually being used, but over 24 hours a day. So what you're doing is you're sending small amounts of fluid out there. They have time to dissipate before the next dose comes along, and so the trench stays drier and the biomat formation stays less. And so the drain fields actually last longer. And plus, in a gravity system, you tend to use the first part of the drain field first, because it flows out of the pipe. What happens is it raises up the level of the holes, but it doesn't go down the full length of the pipe and come out equally all along it. Surface tension will pull the water. It's like a glass. When you're filling up a glass very slowly with water, you'll notice it doesn't cascade over the entire rim all the way down. It goes down in little rivulets. That's what surface tension is pulling water behind it with it down the length. That's what it does in a drain field. It comes out the first few holes because the water is being pulled out of there, and the rest of the drain field never gets used. And so what it does is it forms a big biomat there. Then eventually that gets saturated enough, it'll flow a little further down the line, and then come out there and saturate there until finally it reaches the end of the trench. But then the whole trench has been saturated in a lot of biomat formation. Pressure sends it all the way down the trench, and it comes out fairly equally all the way along. So it's utilizing the entire trench.
Wow. Yeah. And so what happens to any drain field when they scope it and then flush it? Is that a good idea?
Flushing it depends. If it's usually when they flush it is pressure laterals, or if they're sucking out biomat material that's in the trench, there's nothing wrong with that. Scoping it, I don't know. It can show you obvious problems. It doesn't show you everything. It can also, a lot of times people use scoping to scope out problems that really aren't a problem. And then they get a big job to replace whatever it was that didn't need to be replaced in the first place. That's my opinion. There's a few people that do good scoping work and are honest, and there are very few.